Episode 10. In the moment when Sindra connects with Adola and meets X, the boy in the outside world also starts to sense his older brother Sindra. However, the memories that Haumea had clouded before seem to be gradually becoming clearer, leaving So confused as to what is really happening. But So is now sure that Haumea had done something to his mind, and the White Cloak Group's purpose is to ignite the earth once again. That ideal is slowly shaking in So's heart, as he begins to feel the warmth of his brother, something he has never felt before. This warmth, called family, leads So to decide to meet his brother again. Of course, this is something that should not be known by Ha or the guards. As soon as he steps out, he immediately runs into Nca. So asks where Ha is. Upon learning that Ha is in the room, So feels relieved, but So knows that Haumea can see the future. So he has to hurry and leave before he is detected. Just then, So encounters So Suam Mia, who greets him. So quickly changes direction, but it doesn't stop there. His father also shows up and teases So as usual. So begins to feel frustrated, not understanding why everyone is gathering here today. He greets them briefly, then hurries off to avoid suspicion. Just when he thought everything was fine, So's guard, Arrow, starts following him. Arrow tells him that the final ceremony to trigger the great disaster is almost here, and asks where So is going. So realizes now why all the guards are gathered today. His mind is torn, wondering whether or not he should meet his older brother again. But if he meets him, So doesn't know what to say. Moreover, it might make him late for Ha's schedule. Despite his freedom, So has to make a choice. In the end, he chooses his heart and doesn't want to deny the warmth of family in his heart. So silently draws his sword from behind Arrow and demands that she take him to the ground immediately. If she resists, So warns her that she will be sent straight to the grave. Arrow doesn't panic or resist, as she believes that her duty as So's bodyguard is to protect him and she would never betray him. No matter where So wants to go, Arrow will still protect him, unwavering, but So coldly tells her that he doesn't need her protection and wants to free her from this duty. So has always known that he and Arrow have lived under the philosophy of the preacher. But now he wants to do something different. So tells Arrow to let go of this trash responsibility and do something according to her own desires. Arrow disagrees, saying that her duties are not trash, but her will to serve So. The safety of So brings joy to Arrow. Her mission is to protect So, and without that, she would have no reason to exist. Arrow, like an arrow once fired, cannot be taken back. So coldly tells her to lead him to the ground safely. So walks ahead, telling Arrow to stay away from him. Arrow, with a defiant face, asks how far she should stay away. So replies, "Far enough that I can't see your face." Arrow still insists that she will stay as far away as possible while ensuring her protection duties. So, unable to handle Arrow's stubbornness, finally gives up and tells her to do as she pleases. The next morning, after waking up on the ground, Sindra regains consciousness when Sir Iris calls. Obi returns to discuss matters with everyone. The military is still at a standstill, so the chances of helping the 8th Division are slim. The team suggests Maki go back and ask his father for support. But Maki knows that he'll just end up being chained up. The situation becomes even more difficult when Hai Ba Ba arrives to inform everyone that the great disaster is about to begin. After meeting So Sumia, she fully confirmed her analyses, leading to the conclusion that the disaster is imminent. Seeing her younger sister Iris, Hibana expresses concern and asks if Iris has noticed any changes in her body. It turns out Iris doesn't recognize herself as the pillar anymore. Victor quickly grabs a stack of documents. Obi thanks their first ally, the 8th Division, for joining them in this dire situation. Hibana awkwardly brushes it off, stating that she hasn't really helped the 8th Division. It's just that her brother is involved. Iris, quick-witted, teases Hibana that she's too old for Sindra. Then Iris starts matchmaking her sister with Obi, even including Captain Hinawa, which makes Maki blush. These pairings make no sense to anyone. Outside, Ven and Lisa watch the awkward love talk created by Iris with disdain. Just then, a mole pops up from the ground. Everyone is surprised, but it's Scope. He had struggled to find his way here. Along the way, he encountered hellish fire dogs, but Scope cleverly used a move to defeat them and proceed. Scope shares the difficult journey he endured. After defeating the hell dogs, he befriended one, which then carried him to the port. Unfortunately, the mole ate all the potatoes in the storage. Much to everyone's dismay, Scope proceeds to explain that he has come to deliver news from the woman in black, that the great disaster is imminent. Meanwhile, Ha realizes that So has disappeared again, but quickly dismisses it. He doesn't care where So goes. The 8 pillars are already present, and no matter where they are, they can't escape Allah. In responds with excitement, knowing that the disaster will lead to many deaths. Iona is equally excited that the day has finally arrived. Just then, Fairy arrives. He's the leader of the guild, but he's not protecting anyone. Fairy boasts of his strength, claiming that after the disaster, no one will remain. Strange, foreign sounds suddenly start communicating with Ha, possibly from the preacher. Meanwhile, Scope continues his tale, explaining that the woman in black had disappeared. Before she left, she mentioned that the previous disaster failed because they hadn't decoded Pi. The preacher is now working to raise the people's literacy. Upon remembering, it's possible that the ancestors of Voon, with the construction of a metered Terasu, had already solved Pi, and Giovanni's stolen key is likely the key to decode it. However, after analyzing Hibana's report, Victor remains confident that the pillars are still not fully assembled. But they surely didn't predict that the great disaster can happen without needing all the pillars to be in one place. The situation is difficult, but not entirely bad news. That morning, Obi secretly meets with division leader Honda from the 2nd Division to discuss. Honda asks Obi to clarify the complicated issues they've been facing. Obi dives straight into the topic of the great disaster and inquires whether the army or the 2nd Division has received any orders or preparations. Honda asks Obi if he's not afraid he'll be betrayed. Obi knows, but as the leader, he must act for the people. Honda feels Obi's sincerity, and he has always known that Obi is a straight and honest person. So the team will never betray him. However, Honda informs Obi that the army, which should be protecting the people, has done nothing until they receive orders. The upper command is absolute. This country is no different. Despite Honda's strong support for a unified front against evil, something Bond sacrificed his life for, Honda is just an individual. And his power is limited. Obi understands this, even though he has ignored orders and been expelled twice. He knows that Honda can help them in a covert manner. Honda wonders what Obi wants him to prepare. Obi simply answers, "Prepare everything." Obi then visits Captain Pan of the B Division. In theory, B Division was formed to support the 8th Division, so their relationship is strong. Pan had long suspected the Empire's orders. Obi fears that the 4th Division might end up like the 8th. But Pan doesn't think so. He values the message of unity that came from B's sacrifice. Pan is no stranger to Obi's rebellious acts to save people. So, when it comes to the 8th Division's situation, Pan believes it's all for the sake of saving humanity. The firefighter's job is to prioritize protecting lives and property. So B Division decides to cooperate with Obi. Suddenly, Scope detects a strange power from underground. The last time he sensed it was when he tracked down Sumiya fighting Hibana. So, the recent earthquakes are certainly her doing. But this time, Ha wants Sumiya to cause a massive earthquake to terrify the population. Sumiya gathers her strength and creates a powerful earthquake. Even more, a massive pillar emerges from the sea.